Earning your degree online doesn't mean you have to go about it alone. At Capella University, we're here to support you when you're ready. From enrollment counselors who get to know you and your goals, to academic coaches who can help you form a plan to stay on track. We care about your success and are dedicated to helping you pursue your goals. Going back to school is a big step, but having support at every step of your academic journey can make a big difference. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu.
Outback Steakhouse's Great Barrier Eats are here for a limited time. Dive into tasty twin reef shrimp, a sizzling bloomin' French onion sirloin, and our signature beef and reef platter. How do we do it? We wrangled seasoned scallop 2 clicks below sea level, tracked tender sirloin 14 days through the bush.
Oh yeah, and I just boiled this pasta, don't you know?
Thanks, Tom from Minnesota. Great Barrier Eats, here for a limited time at Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
ABC Wednesday.
I'm Joan, and I'm your first Golden Bachelorette.
Joan's getting a second chance.
This is about everybody like me, navigating, trying to find love at this age.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't have hope.
Because love never ages.
Golden age doesn't mean you're old. Old is a state of mind. Like a lot of living to do.
The Golden Bachelorette. Series premiere Wednesday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
What do you call an ostrich in a cornfield? A crop duster. How many dads does it take to change a light bulb? 1 to fetch the ladder, 1 to go back to the hardware store to get the right bulb, another to look up and say, uh-huh, and the rest to stand around debating charcoal versus gas. Why did the cat stop playing basketball? It threw up too many hairballs.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by 2 really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to?
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valves, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve!
From the world-famous Cardiff Electric Network Studios, it's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio. Now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider who gives me street cred with the whack alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And in the studio, taking the place of Tacie, is my other partner, DNP Carissa. Hello, DNP Carissa.
Hello, Dr. Steve.
She's a different kind of partner, but my partner nonetheless. This is a show for people who had never listened to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, or if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine or at DrScottWM. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on the show without talking it over with your healthcare provider. All right, very good. Don't forget simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net. We'll be talking about it in a minute. And stuff.drsteve.com. That's stuff.drsteve.com. You can just go there, click through to Amazon. It really helps us out. Or you can scroll down and see all the different things that we talk about, including the Womanizer, every woman's favorite toy. And it's absolutely worth the money. And thank you for your endorsement, DNP Carissa. Check out ed.drsteve.com for the Phoenix acoustic wave erectile dysfunction device. It is not cheap, but it's way less expensive than going and having acoustic wave shockwave therapy at a med spa, and it certainly is less embarrassing than having somebody holding your jungle region while they're putting a probe up and down your member for 17 minutes. And you can get it for $29 a month for a few months, or you can pay the whole thing off and get a discount by going to ED, as in erectile dysfunction, ed.drsteve.com. And then there is our Patreon, patreon.com/weirdmedicine. We just did a show the other day where we answered a bunch of medical questions from our listeners. If you send in a question there, it 100% of the time will be answered. And there's different tiers, and it starts off, it's inexpensive. So check that out, patreon.com/weirdmedicine. We also do the exam room there. We've had the troika of Opie and Anthony. We've had Mark Normand, Chad Zumach. We've had, who else? Pete Davidson, some folks like that. So it's fun. Patreon.com/weirdmedicine. And then cameo.com/weirdmedicine. I left my price at $5. I dropped it to $5 for vacation. I did 1 million of them over vacation, Dr. Scott. It was fun walking around St. Pete Beach and, giving people medical advice or saying fluid or whatever. So check that out. Cameo.com/weirdmedicine. All right, very good. Please don't forget to check out Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net. And how are you doing on stock for the CBD nasal spray? Because I need some more.
Actually, still pretty well, thank you. We've got enough to get us through the next couple weeks at least.
Oh, you do?
Yep,
okay,
yep.
Well, I'll place an order on your website.
Yes, please do.
And,
Official channel.
I don't ever want to be without that.
It's great stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no, for real.
Very proud of it.
Yeah, I'm very proud of what you did. So
the first for everything.
Well, I think you deserve one of these.
Give thyself a bell.
Yes.
We have a new one too. One of our listeners' kids called in, and she wanted to give you a bell. So,
give yourself a bell.
Oh, I love it. That's the best one yet, actually.
I thought you would.
I love that. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's do. Tacie's not here. We could do things in any order we want. We can be wild.
Oh,
so
Lord.
Let's do this right now. It's time for Mom Swipes Left Has Questions with Jen and Carol from the Mom Swipes Left podcast. Well,
why is it that when you get old, all of the stuff, like your hair thins, your skin thins, your toenails get gargantuan? I actually had an incident this past week where my aunt, who is in her 80s, was walking across my mom's floor barefoot, and it sounded like a dog who needed their toes clipped. I looked at them, and they're like these toenails that grow over the top of her, like around. Yeah. And they actually have to go to a real doctor to cut that shit?
Podiatrist. Well, real doctor is a little bit of an overstatement, but
no.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck is up with that?
Why?
Why do the toenails go mad?
Is it fungus alone?
I don't think there was no discoloration.
Right.
But
what is happening?
Why is it the toenails and not any of the other positive places?
And also, while we're on that, why do the ears and the nose continue to grow?
Right.
What is the medical reasoning behind needing big ears and big nose when you're old? Dr. Steve, please help us.
Thank you.
The answer to the second part is kind of interesting. They keep growing because there's no reason for them not to, because we were designed to pass our genetic material on at the age of, between 14 and 18 and then die by the time we were 30.
Yep.
And so there's really just not a whole lot of genetic instructions about what to do when these fucking humans live beyond, delivering babies because there's no evolutionary pressure anymore at that point.
Yep.
And they just do, and it's gross, and you get hair in weird places and stuff, and you weren't supposed to get any of that stuff.
And it's always the stuff that grows that you don't really want maybe those things to grow larger.
Yeah, but it's right. That's right. It would be awesome.
Just
one consolation
observation.
Of getting older would be you just had a giant cock,
or at least if it would just keep growing a little bit. I'm not asking for
giant.
Much. Anything's better than not much.
Meaty erection. And it's just instead of your dumb ears.
Oh, and all ears
and
your nose. Oh, for God's sakes, yeah.
So yeah, if you start off with a schnoz, you're going to end up with a mega schnoz. So, but on the toenails, do you guys want to talk about that? I mean, I know the answer to this. I mean, it is onychomycosis,
right?
Yeah, DNP Carissa, you want to talk about? I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't tell you we were going to do this. You don't have to.
No, she's listened to the show before, and she knows it's coming.
She's just here to listen. She's just here to have a good time. It's totally
That's right.
fine.
And drink the wine.
And I don't have any wine.
Oh, why don't you?
Tacie is the one that always
problem.
gives me wine. Steve didn't give me
I'm
any.
a terrible host.
What a horrible host.
We'll get you some.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to talk about the fun things, not thick toenails.
Yeah, well, DNP Carissa brought a really interesting thing to talk about today.
That we'll eventually
everyone's going to enjoy it. But so thick toenails are onychomycosis, aka fungus-infected nail beds. And what happens is when you're young, you have beautiful blood supply to all parts of your body, but as you get older, if you think about it, the toes are the sort of what's a rural area that you could think of? Well, just it's the rural North Dakota of the body, right? And doesn't get good internet service, doesn't get a lot of regular services that
resources
you expect to get,
that the rest of the United States gets right.
But the toenails are fed by capillaries. At that point, you have the giant aorta and it pumps blood and then it divides and it divides and it divides some more. By the time it gets down to the toes, it's just little capillaries, and then it's got to reform back to form the large veins that return blood to the heart. And it's just hard to the immune system can't surveil that area like it did when you were younger. Okay. And so fungus can take root, and when it does, it starts building a protective housing for itself, and it makes this kind of flaky, chunky shit. And I had a fungus-infected toenail, and I went to a podiatrist, just had the thing removed, and killed the nail bed because it was just like what she was talking about. Mm-hmm. It was so disgusting. Mm-hmm. It was big and it curled up, and there was space between it, about an inch between it and the nail bed, and that was just all this yellow, flaky shit. Oof. And I don't know why I let it go as far as I did, because I guess I'd just wear socks and shoes that didn't bother me. And then I was on a parasailing. And I actually did a Weird Medicine Minute about this. I was on a parasailing trip with my boys, and you can't wear shoes on the boat. They don't want shoes on the boat. And I'm sitting there with my bare feet, and I look down. I see this giant nail on my left big toe, and I see these two 17-year-old high school girls, and they're just looking at me. They're sitting across from me on the little, on the catamaran thing, and they're looking down and they're looking at my toes, and they had this look of just utter disgust on their face. Like, ew, old people are so gross.
I love it.
And that as soon as I got back to the house, I cut it off my damn self. And then when I got back home, I had the podiatrist remove it.
Yeah,
I had to be shamed by high school girls before I did anything about it.
It's not your wife or anybody like that. It's some random people.
And usually it would be Tacie.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll talk to her. I'm so excited. Oh, I've got this new kombucha batch. I'm gonna put I think apples and pears and maybe some ginger in there, and I'm so excited about it, and I'm talking about it, and all of a sudden she'll just interrupt me and go, you need to trim your nose hairs. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, she doesn't. She's pretty good about not having much of a filter.
Yeah, true. Well, particularly if it's
when it comes to you.
Well, she's not here, so she would. I don't think she could disagree with my assessment. But that's what's going on. What was that? Her grandmother, her aunt,
her great aunt,
her great aunt has onychomycosis. Some primary care providers can deal with this, but most of the time when they get that bad, you do need to see a podiatrist, and they are real doctors, and they just specialize in foot surgery. They're foot surgeons.
Yep.
And the treatment for this is probably going to be to remove them. You have the option of letting the nail grow back.
Okay.
And you could try putting antifungal medication on the nail bed as it grows back to see if you can get it to grow back normal. But what my podiatrists that I trained with and the one that I saw said is that once that nail bed becomes disrupted with that big chunky crap, it just never forms a proper nail again. So it's better to just destroy it. Now, if you can catch it before this happens, there are topical treatments for this. You start to see a little yellow patchy area on your nail. That's the beginning of this. Okay. You can get a prescription medication that you put on every day at bedtime. It's like a toenail polish with an antifungal medication in it. And you put it on for 48 weeks, and it will very often cure it. You can also take a pill, oral ketoconazole. And the problem with that is you got to take it for 12 weeks. And right in the middle, you have to do blood work to make sure that the medicine isn't destroying your liver. So,
yuck.
Just a little off topic too. It could be psoriatic nails. I have those.
Yes. So if she has psoriasis, talk about that for a little bit.
Well, I don't really know what to say other than they can appear like the thickened nails that you see.
But it's actually caused by
plaque psoriasis.
Psoriasis of the nail bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, if there's any chance that she has psoriasis, very good. Oh, dear.
Way to go.
Carissa. Okay, yeah.
Give thyself a bell.
Damn it. 1-1.
I don't know what I've got. I got Sean's keeping numbers for me.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Trick. The Fluid family.
That's right.
Sean's going to be in studio.
I heard that.
I think in August.
Yeah, August. That's cool.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
To make sure
we talk about him enough.
Make sure we show up.
He's my Rochester buddy. He went to the Creep Off roast. He and Amanda Davidson both. And we had Greg Rogers there, too, which, by the way, I tweeted out his YouTube channel. He does a ORS at the movies or something. I'm sorry, Greg. I've already forgot what it is, but I'll put a link somewhere. But it's on my Twitter. They do a really cool movie review show. DNP Carissa, you would be interested in this, I think. They take like shite movies like Battlefield Earth, and then they talk about how in the hell did this thing even get made and all the politics behind the scenes and stuff. It was really interesting. So I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Well, you put it in your notes to remind me to do that. Just Greg's show
thing.
And but anyway, now I forgot. Oh yeah, Sean and Amanda both went to the Creep Off roast, which if you want to hear my part of the Creep Off roast, I'm going to eventually put it up on YouTube. Vinnie Paulino gave me permission to just put my part up, and I still don't have the video. The video would be more fun, but I've got the audio. But right now you can hear it on our Patreon at patreon.com/weirdmedicine. It's worth it just for that. And then he came to the Rochester WATP event. That got me in all kinds of trouble. But anyway, it was still a fun event. We all had a good time. So, and okay, so where are we? Onychomycosis, psoriatic,
long noses and
what
ears.
Is that called? If it's psoriatic, so you have onychomycosis. So is it what is the medical term for psoriatic nails?
Psoriatic nails.
Yeah, that's it?
I think there's no fancy name.
Gotta be.
Oh, well, there probably is. We can make one up.
There has to be a name for it. Well, okay, yeah, nail psoriasis. I'm a damn idiot. Okay, I'll give both of you.
Give thyself a bell.
Yes. All right. We'll call them Carissa nails.
Yes. I will just make the name.
Can we see your nails at some point?
This is the one. I mean, tell me that
Does it
doesn't
look bad?
like.
Well, it's a radio show.
Looks
but
like it looks like she
describe
bent. It looks like she bent her nail backwards.
Really?
Yeah, on the corner of it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Really?
You know how kind of when you bend your nail backwards,
Yes.
it like kills just the corner of it. Kind of
Yeah.
what that looks like.
Okay.
It doesn't look fungal.
You
or
can see this one
swollen.
starting.
It's not gross. Now I don't want her touching me or within 3 feet of me, but it doesn't look gross or anything.
Because you're worried.
No, really, it doesn't look bad.
I-
Nothing like an ugly, nothing like those toes.
Might
Right.
catch that
Well,
leprosy, don't you?
I have a toenail too.
Oh,
and-
gross.
No.
Ew. Ew.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look bad at all.
All right.
It doesn't look bad.
Okay, so did you have something today?
Yes. Let's see. Where is it?
Oh,
Where is
boy,
it?
we are
Oh,
really
wait on.
prepared today.
You want to talk about the fart proudly thing?
Yeah, if you want to. I think that's a good one. It's Benjamin Franklin wrote a treatise.
Yes. He wrote a treatise about farting, and I read it.
We call
but
it
I don't think
passing flatus.
flatus. I was, it'd be perfect if we would have read this and you could have your AI do it in the proper language.
Ooh.
Because the way he wrote it is, I have perused your late mathematical prize question proposed in lieu of one natural philosophy for the ensuing year. Permit me to humbly propose one of that sort of your consideration, and through you, if you approve it, for the serious inquiry of learned physicians, chemists.
Can you please stop bullshitting?
And all he's doing is just talking about having gas.
Yeah.
And that's,
So-
it's just
He thought that they were a little bit too serious about for themselves. They were too cool for the room, and he sent a scientific treatise on passing flatus. So
That's hilarious.
Good for him. So maybe we'll do that. We'll input it to the voice AI and see if it makes
It'd be
it
a lot better
slightly
than me.
more interesting.
A lot better than me reading it. Because to me, I was about to put myself to sleep listening to me read it. So
Well, at least you recognize
there you go. There you go.
All right. Did you had another one?
We did have another one. This is a little bit more in our I guess range or
Wheelhouse.
sweet spot.
Yeah.
Wheelhouse. Yeah. So this is about chronic pain, and it's in the Journal of Rheumatology. But it's talking about chronic opioids and a false dream of mass anesthesia.
Okay.
And what this is talking about, just in a nutshell, these doctors have gotten together and actually written a book, and they're talking about the perception of pain and how vital that is to treating pain.
Right.
Because back in the 90s, when you were practicing back then, it was about keeping people healthy and treating their pain appropriately.
Yeah.
And they started using a lot of the opiates, narcotics, because they were told that they were not addictive,
Right.
et cetera.
Right.
And,
What we were told is if a patient has real pain, they won't get addicted to it.
Yeah, and of course we know that's a much more
It's a lot more
challenging
complex than that. That's right.
thing than just a pill. So I really like this article, but the bottom line is, and what I took from this article was that something that I do a lot, and I know you guys do a lot, is actually talk to patients about their perception of pain and their ability to work with the pain they have.
Yeah.
Work with the pain that they have. They're going to probably have to live with once it becomes chronic, and that's a tough discussion a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a pill, and it's not just an acupuncture needle, and it's not just an epidural or
Right.
surgery. A lot of times it's all of these things put together, and that's why it's so vital to have a comprehensive team.
Well, what I've always told people is, the Romans used to just line up in a line when they went to war.
Okay.
And then the other side would line up in a line, and they had these rules, and then they would go at each other and, poke each other with swords and stuff like that. And then the Vandals or whoever it was came in and said, well, this is stupid. Let's just run around the side and attack them from behind. And the Romans were like, well, that's not fair. And it began the end of the Roman Empire.
That's not a civil war. That's an uncivil war.
So if we're going to treat pain, we can't just treat it by lining up and doing this, one thing. We need to do lots of different things, and a multifaceted approach to pain relief, including managing expectations as well. Because DNP Carissa and I, and actually, and you work in the pain clinic yourself, we have to tell people that our goal is to improve function and quality of life, but not necessarily to eradicate the pain. Only treatment of the underlying condition could do that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I speak of a lot is that, sometimes you just have to change your expectations.
Yeah.
If something is broken and it is not fixable, we just have to learn to work with it.
And that doesn't mean do nothing.
It doesn't mean do nothing. No, it's just like me playing music. I know I'm never going to be great. I have a very limited skill set, but I'm still going to do what I can with what it is.
Well, and you've seen,
and then
my
I
back
supplement it with you.
Most
which
people
makes it good.
on here that follow me on Twitter have seen my stupid back.
Yep.
And, a year ago, I was walking around on a cane. And then at one point, I was having to crawl upstairs. So I never took an opioid for it. And I'm not saying, ooh, look at me, all ooh. But I was able to manage it and I have pain every day, but it doesn't affect my quality of life. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of life one bit anymore. And so it can be managed. And I'm concerned that if I had gotten on the opioid rotation, that it would, you develop tolerance and then you need more. And then you take so much that you get this thing called opioid hyperalgesia, which actually makes the pain worse the more opioids you take. And that's very difficult to manage.
And can we stop right there? Because that is so parallel to what we're talking about with your perception of the pain, because the hyperalgesia from taking excessive amounts of opioids gives you an inflated perception of pain.
That's right.
So when we treat it, if I have someone come in that does not have end-stage cancer-related pain,
right,
that has, and again, and we've seen it. Of course, we don't see it like we used to, but a backache. They hurt, their back hurts, so they've been taking these things, and man, they'll get so bad and so sensitive that you can barely touch their skin,
right,
without them just screaming, "Oh God, what are you doing to me?"
Right,
and it's just it's a very difficult thing. So it was nice to see this article today. So.
And listen, we're not in any way demeaning chronic pain patients because we work with chronic pain patients. We want to make them better. I do have people come in and say, well, my pain's a 10 out of 10, and they're cracking jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Carissa, I know you see this too. And I will sort of reset their scale. It's like, well, it's 10 on their scale, but let me put it on my scale. And a 10 for me is you are in the Civil War, you just got shot through and through the femur with a musket ball, and now they're sawing off your leg with a rusty saw without anesthesia. That's a 10. So on that scale, where is your pain? And that helps me to sort of understand where they are. And then go, oh, well, on that scale, I'm a 5. And so, we all use different scales. We got to be real careful about calibrating those scales. But anyway, yes, very good. It's there is hope for chronic pain management. We're actually writing an article about canalidine right now, which is a novel non-opioid pain medication that looks like it's going to be very interesting going forward. So more on that as time goes on. Okay.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly, which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Outback Steakhouse's Great Barrier Eats are here for a limited time. Dive into tasty twin reef shrimp, a sizzling bloomin' French onion sirloin, and our signature beef and reef platter. How do we do it? We wrangled seasoned scallop 2 clicks below sea level, tracked tender sirloin 14 days through the bush.
No, yeah, and I just boiled this pasta, don't you know?
Thanks, Tom from Minnesota. Great Barrier Eats, here for a limited time at Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
If you send hay, they send hay. But with opening moves on Bumble, you can get to better chats faster. Because if you send most underrated summer activity, they send eating spicy soup in front of the air conditioner on full blast. And that's something you can work with. You're still making the first move, but you can choose a question or write your own to get sent to all your matches. So you can relax and see what they come back with. Download Bumble and try it for yourself.
Are you an overthinker? Then I have a podcast recommendation for you. Introducing the Magical Overthinkers podcast, a show for thought spiralers, exploring the subjects we can't stop overthinking about. I'm your host, Amanda Montell, author of the New York Times bestselling book, The Age of Magical Overthinking, and host of the Sounds Like a Cult podcast. Every other week on Magical Overthinkers, I interview a brilliant expert guest about a buzzy, confounding subject from the zeitgeist. Think narcissism, social media comparison, imposter syndrome, girl math, complete with thought-provoking conversations and actionable takeaways for how we chronically online listeners can get out of our own heads. This podcast is here to make some sense of the senseless. Listen to Magical Overthinkers now, every other Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's get to some dicks and nuts. Most assuredly dicks. DNP Carissa, you brought with us.
Oh, no.
Something very interesting.
I did. I brought 99 facts about dicks.
Okay, awesome. Is that what the article actually says?
99 thought-provoking.
Oh, okay.
No,
You did better.
Much better.
Yours was much better.
Yeah.
All right.
I have 99 problems, but a dick's not one. Thank goodness. This topic's very interesting, though, to me.
Is it? Okay, very good. Should I get my Phoenix erectile dysfunction acoustic wave therapy thing out during this?
Well, I don't think it's necessary to do it now, but
okay.
you can hold it up
Scott
so we can see it.
Scott wanted to help me out.
Yeah, we want to see it. Both hands.
Yeah. Does it take both?
I think it takes both hands.
Yeah, it does, actually. All right, let's see. What you got?
Well, I mean, the first one would just be an alternate name for a penis.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't have a penis.
John
I've heard
Thomas.
some of these. Adolf.
Adolf? What?
Yeah, think about that for a second. Yeah. One that Amanda had to explain to me today is a baloney pony.
Yes, baloney pony.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is that fried baloney? These are terrible names.
That's awful.
I've never heard of any of these.
I had never heard of any of these.
I'm over 2, too.
Yeah.
Correct. But then you have...
Where does this article come from? Mars.
I think she's making
Martian
this.
penis.
I think she's making this
I'm
up.
making these up. So, yeah, I was just curious if you all had ever heard of these nicknames.
Okay, let's hear some more.
Give us some
I
more,
have
yeah.
not. A disco stick, I've heard that.
No, you have?
Yes.
0 for 3.
I have not heard of a disco
0 for
stick.
3.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense.
Correct. A skin flute.
Yes,
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
A spit stick.
Nope, never heard that one.
A third leg.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I have a story about third leg.
Okay.
Back in the CB days when I was selling CB radios before I went to medical school, the I-86 or whatever used to go right by our store. And so I would get on the CB and mess with the truckers on Channel 19. And so they called women beavers, right? So there's a beaver, hitchhiking on the road up bar and all this stuff. And so just remember that they called women beavers. So I got on and I was singing to them, I like you no matter what you do. And then I would say, hi, I'm Mr. CB, and I just washed my hands after going tinkle. You should always have good hand hygiene. And then I would let go of the thing, and you would hear all these truckers all at once, and then you'd hear, get that three-legged beaver off of there.
My God.
Three-legged beaver.
Wow.
So
all I can think about is the movie Airplane when what's his name looking up at Priscilla as she's climbing that ladder, says, nice beaver.
Oh.
She's picking that beaver.
And she's picking the beaver off the cabinet.
So stupid. Lindsay Nelson, right?
Yeah. Lindsay Nielsen.
Nielsen, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So, anyways, there's a ton.
Let's hear a few
couple more.
Let's do a
Yeah,
few more, and then we'll
not-
then go to number 2.
I mean, okay, cock.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
A cum gun. Yeah, correct. A yogurt gun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Terrible.
Okay. No food analogies.
No.
Whenever I would have a resident, they would say, yes, the patient passed a stool about the size of a small orange. It's like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to eat an orange for 2 weeks. So no more food analogies.
Oh my God.
Oh, but one more, a meat stick.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Heard that, yeah. The other one's not so much.
No.
Yeah. Whatever happened to just John Thomas or Shillelagh or something like that? All right. That's because I'm 100 years old. All right. What else you got?
Well, the human penis is larger than that of any other primate, both
What?
in terms of proportion to body size and in absolute terms.
So if I had a chimp or for a girlfriend, she would be impressed by my penis rather than the way the humans.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Future reference.
Speaking
When
of,
you're desperate, what the hell?
squirrel monkeys
Yeah.
and male baboons
Yes.
will gesture with an erect penis as a threat to predators or as a sign of impending danger.
Really?
Yeah.
So if say a tiger or a lion is stalking them, they'll get a rod and wave it around.
Apparently.
That would make it tough to run, though, wouldn't it?
For us, it would, but apparently ours is much bigger than theirs.
Yes,
so.
evidently it is. Obviously, though.
Interesting.
Apparently. The average erect penis size is between 5 to 6 inches. And
Yeah.
a flaccid penis is around 3.5 inches.
Unless you got the shrinkage.
Mm-hmm. Shrinkage.
And DNP Carissa, are you familiar with Dr. Steve's rule?
Nope.
For every 35 pounds of weight that you lose, you reclaim 1 inch of penis length. And this is linear between about 300 pounds and 150 pounds. So it's a linear relationship at that point. Now, at much higher weights, you're starting with negative numbers. And then at much lower weights, you just can't get any bigger. And the other thing that I found interesting when I was sort of researching this topic is your penis is actually way longer than you think it is.
Because half of it's inside you.
Yes, very good.
Ooh.
Give thyself a bell.
Damn it! Lucky guess.
Yes.
I've learned a lot about dick in the last little bit.
That's
the iceberg concept, right?
Yeah, yes, right. But it doesn't do you any good because
No,
you
not a
can't
damn bit of good.
thrust with the penis that's actually inside your body.
No.
You go, no, I'm really...
Do we get to count it, though, when we're talking about it?
No, because there are some guys that measure their penis length from their anus.
No.
And it's like, oh, I'm 12 inches. It's like, well, you just got a big ass.
Correct.
Oh, my goodness.
Measure from the base of the pubis where you see it coming out of the skin. That's where you measure from. And measure it erect, for God's sake. All right.
Well,
and then
speaking
multiply
of,
by 2.
Yep.
do you know what the smallest natural human penis ever recorded was?
Oh, no, I can't imagine. I mean...
It's shocking.
Is it?
Really?
5/8 of an inch.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Yeah.
Oof.
The largest.
You get nothing.
Yikes.
Correct. The longest erect penis on record is 13 inches.
Damn.
Like, that's almost as bad.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No.
Thanks.
All the blood just rushing out of your head every time you get an erection, you start getting faint.
I mean, fair.
We could calculate the volume of a 13-inch cylinder and figure out how much blood is in there. Yeah, you guys talk. Give us some more, and I'm going to calculate the volume.
Oh.
I was going to say, somewhere in these facts, too, it tells me an average amount of blood that is required.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I don't know where that is
Okay, well,
offhand,
we'll get
so
to
I'll
it.
let you know when I get
This
to
is
it.
good, so.
I'm also skipping over lots of these.
No, just
but,
do the good ones. You're good.
Yeah, just the good ones.
Well, what's good to me and what's good to a man may be different.
You have a point.
Yes. Men who have been hanged often get a death erection known as angel lust.
Angel lust. That's what I never heard them call it that.
Correct.
Well, I knew that happened, but I didn't know that's what they called it.
It is from stimulation of the parasympathetic nervous system due to compression of the spinal cord at the cerebellum. Is that what it is? Does it say? Okay. All right.
And gravity. And gravity.
All right.
Fun rigor mortis.
Fun fact.
And rigor mortis.
Parasympathetic. What a nerd I am.
Yes.
Correct.
Hey, how wide do you think this 13-inch penis is? Do you think it's more than 2.5 inches?
Yeah, didn't we talk about that before? You can actually, there's a mathematical
Well,
equation.
there is to figure out the circumference.
Okay.
But are we going to say 2.5 inches in diameter?
That's it. That's average.
At least, yeah. Probably should go up a little bit.
Oh, okay. So it is 63.81 cubic inches. So what is that in milliliters? What is 63? I'm sure this is fascinating. 63 cubic inches in milliliters.
Do you know what the average speed of ejaculation is?
I do not.
20.
36.
Holy moly. It's 1,048. It's a liter of blood.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
That's a hell of a lot of blood.
That's a lot of blood.
That's a lot of blood.
Holy shit. Oh, my God.
I love to masturbate. I love to masturbate.
I am the smart.
Okay, anyway. Wow. 1,048 milliliters.
It's incredible.
That's a lot.
So think of a 2-liter bottle, half of that of blood in your penis.
Yeah. Pretty sure you'd be lightheaded.
How can you do that multiple times a day?
Yeah, if you have 7, right. Well, that's a whole nother thing. But if you have 7 liters of blood, that's 1/7 of your blood is in your cock.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Oh, Carissa.
Yes.
Oh, what topics you've
No, this is awesome.
So, the average speed of ejaculation.
30 seconds.
Now, you mean the velocity of it shooting out onto somebody?
Correct.
Okay,
Oh.
so I know the answer to this because I've seen it. So I would say 3 feet per second. What is
Give
the
me
answer?
a miles per hour.
Oh God.
Oh, miles per
Hang
hour.
on.
Okay.
Okay. What is 3 feet per second?
I would say
in
2 miles
per
an hour.
Hang on. Let me see what it says.
No.
Dang it.
It says 2 miles an hour. That's what that would be. 3 feet per
No.
second. So maybe it took less than 3
No.
seconds. I mean, 1 second to go that 3 feet.
What is the answer?
28 miles per hour.
No.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm serious.
I'd knock a hole in something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how they measure that. That's got to be somebody with urethral stenosis. You know,
that's holding on to it for dear life, and then they let it off,
Yeah.
and it's like
like you're doing a hose or something.
yeah, like a water hose. Yeah.
I mean, that's the average speed.
The reason I came up with 3 feet in a second, but that would be 1/1000th. That'd be looping. No, it was almost instantaneous. So I'm just thinking of something that
We're gonna have
happened
to
in
check
my-
our sources. You notice how the good thing about Tacie's topic time, she always she always gives credit to her sources.
That's right. That's
now,
hilarious.
I'm not
she
so
just does
sure.
the headline and then
CNN News.
Right. A man fell off a bridge. CNN News.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll just leave
A
and
man
wait till
has a
Tacie
liter
comes
of
back.
blood in his penis. Carissa.
Right. Okay. That's it. Very interesting.
Interesting.
I would have said, if I'd thought about that a little bit more, maybe 6 miles an hour, because it would have been 3 feet in a third of a second. And I have a reason for that. But anyway, we don't have to go into it.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
All right. What do you got? What else you got?
Nothing.
That's it?
Apparently.
No, don't let him do that.
Oh, no. I'm not talking around anything. She's on a roll.
No, you humiliated
Oh,
her.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry.
Okay, what do you got?
She's mad at me now.
Well, one you kind of touched on already, that the signal to ejaculate does not come from a man's brain, but rather it's sent from the spinal cord.
That is correct. And you know how we know that? You can take a brain-dead guy, and this has been done, in the ICU, and if you stimulate him properly, he will get an erection, and you can continue to stimulate him, and you can get him to ejaculate. Now, why would you ever do that? It just shows that, man, even brain dead, we can still, get a rod. But there have been times when people wanted to collect a semen sample, either for forensic purposes or to do in vitro fertilization later. And that has been done before. So, yeah. It's the
they'll also do it with pairs sometimes if they want to. If someone's
with what?
With pairs, if someone's paraplegic. If they want to have children, they can actually do that.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So that's a good point. And there's no
it's a
signal
good thing.
going
It's a
from the
good thing.
brain
Yeah,
down there.
It's a good thing.
And well, of course it is. So that wasn't in question, but
It's a no-brainer.
Oh boy. Okay.
Hey, we knew we had her here for something.
That was it.
Yes, and if anybody is interested, the parasympathetic nervous system makes the erection happen, and the sympathetic nervous system makes the ejaculation happen. And the way to remember that is point and shoot. So, point and shoot. P for parasympathetic, S for sympathetic. So that's how they taught it to us in medical school.
Yeah, Ryan was just saying the same thing. Ryan Cloud on
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Parasympathetic point, sympathetic shoots.
Yeah, very good.
Cool.
Yep, I'm glad to hear they're still teaching that one. All right, what do you got?
Well, you know Latin.
Do I?
I don't know, do you?
No, not really. But let me see if we can dope it out. What's up?
The word masturbate is a combination of two Latin words.
I'm going to guess master and bait. Those Latin words?
Nope.
Is them Latin?
Nope.
What is this?
I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this one word.
Come on, give it a go. You can do it.
But basically, both words mean hand and to defile, which together means to defile with the hand. So man's and you're looking it up, so your genius mind will tell us in a moment.
Oh, nominative masturbatio, the noun of action from the past participle stem of Latin masturbare means to masturbate. Deliberate erotic self-stimulation. Okay, very interesting.
Well, there you go.
I don't know about how erotic it is.
No.
Oh, tubare is to unsettle or to throw into disorder. So masturbare is to use your hand to throw yourself into disorder. And I think that's a very a good way of putting it.
Interesting.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Good job.
Good job.
We love it.
All right, what else you got? We got time for a couple more. You're curating these very well.
99. We're about 8 down.
Yeah, that's fine.
She'll have
Just
91
pick
left.
Well, we can do part 2 as well.
No, I'm never coming back here with you, motherfuckers. I'm done. This is why I don't have a dick. This is why.
He's the mean one. I was
No,
nice.
it's all my fault. I'm sorry.
He's the asshole.
I'm a jerk.
Having sex at least once a week can lower a man's risk of heart disease by 30%, stroke by 50%, and diabetes by 40%.
I'm going to die.
Men with an active sex life are also more likely to live past 80 years.
Fuck, I'm doomed.
You're so screwed.
Oh, God, I'm doomed.
To maintain a healthy tone, the penis needs to have erections regularly. Without regular erections, penile tissue can become less elastic and shrink up to 1 to 2 centimeters.
Mucous membrane, bro.
However, the brain does have an automatic penis maintenance function.
My jokes don't go over, I don't care. Everybody, I don't care. He does not care.
Sorry.
It's okay, you don't care. Neither do I.
Well,
all right. So, okay, we've established I'm terminally ill. What else you got?
Nothing.
Oh, seriously? Okay. Really?
No, it just depends.
If we're on good behavior.
Well,
How do you-
we'll be nice, I promise.
I'll probably be in those pretty soon, too.
Yes.
Depends, kid. All right. This has turned into a madhouse.
A shit show.
No, it's awesome. I'm enjoying it. We got to...
I love it.
Why were Kellogg's cornflakes originally?
Oh, I know this.
Okay, good.
Do you know?
Of course you do.
Do you know?
I don't know what the end of the. I don't even know. The
Okay,
end of the
well,
question.
ask it.
What's
Finish
end of
the question. Sorry, I was
Why were
doing
Kellogg's cornflakes. What?
I was doing a Jeopardy thing. It was interrupting.
Why were they originally invented? I'll give you a clue. It has something to do with the topic.
I'm not even going to guess. I give up.
You would
Let
think
Dr.
it was
Steve
for
win.
bowel movement, but it wasn't. He was trying. Kellogg apparently was weird about sex stuff, and he was trying to use cornflakes to prevent masturbation or self pleasure. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yay! I'll give myself one of these.
Look at you.
Give yourself a beer.
I love that one.
Give myself one.
That's good stuff.
Well, I wonder why he thought that would work, though. Well, I'm going to take corn and make flakes, dry it out and make flakes, and somehow that's going to keep people from playing with their penises.
John Kellogg thought that the problem of masturbating could be solved by keeping body heat out of the penis by monitoring food, and that a bland diet would help curb masturbation.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, he missed the mark, but I think he made a couple $1 billion selling some cornflakes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Good for him.
Well, that's good. That's what we refer to as a good miss.
Yeah. Well, yes. So was Viagra. Viagra was initially considered to be a blood pressure medication, and it didn't do so much for that. It made people lightheaded, and so it wasn't a great blood pressure medicine. But they were all reporting, "Oh God, all of a sudden I'm having these giant erections," and they were like, And now you have to do another study, though. You can't use the blood pressure study to get approval for your drug for erectile dysfunction. Now you got to start all over again with that as being the target outcome. So anyway, might as well get some science in here.
Science. Nothing I have is science, other than it takes around 130 mLs of blood for a penis to stiffen.
Well, unless you have a 13-inch one.
Correct.
Then you need a liter.
It's 10 times that.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Unlike your ears and your nose, your penis stops growing in your 20s.
Yeah, God damn it.
Yes.
The penis can break.
Yes. Yes. Have you ever had somebody break a penis? Have you ever seen one?
I have.
Yeah. In your life or in your practice? Don't answer. It's okay.
No.
I mean, you can answer if you want to.
I was responsible.
Oh, you were responsible for it? You want to talk about it?
Mm.
Okay, that's fine. I don't blame you.
Just as long as it's not a habitual thing, I think it's okay.
Yeah, she just reaches out and
snap.
Just
Thanks.
fuck.
But yeah.
However, it's apparently more flexible than you would think.
Yes, it's
Like during missionary, it can turn shape into like a boomerang.
And when this happens a lot of times is when the woman is on top and she's controlling the thrusting, and the guy might have a little whiskey dick or not a full monstrous ballpark Frank in the microwave type erection, and if she thrusts down and he isn't quite lined up perfectly. And instead of entering whatever orifice they're working with, it bends. You can bend it enough to where the sheath, the sort of fibrous sheath on the inside of the, that surrounds the penis right under the skin will actually break.
Yeah, you can hear a popping or cracking sound.
Yep. And you also hear screaming, and you'll see the guy, holding his jungle region with his hands, and going, get me some ice and get me to the emergency room. And you should do that because if you get early treatment, don't be embarrassed. They are used to seeing everything in the emergency room. And again, you can just say you sat on it or whatever. You slam the door on it, whatever. If you don't want to tell the whole story, and they'll agree to just pretend that that's really what happened. And those common fictions we agree on. It's fine for safe face or face saving. But get it treated because early treatment is the way to go. And the same is true for priapism too. If you take Viagra and you do your business and you complete the transaction and you still have an erection and it will not go down, that's a medical emergency. After about 4 hours, it will become intensely painful, and you need to treat that soon so you don't have permanent damage. Now, the fractured penis, when it heals, there will be scar tissue there, and the penis will then bend in the direction of the scar tissue because it's inelastic compared to the sheath. And that is called Peyronie's disease, and that is also now treatable. So, but getting that taken care of sooner rather than later. DNP Carissa, you weren't here. There was a story that I read when I was medical examiner up in Vermont. And what happened was this guy died, but he was masturbating in a factory where they had like pulleys and bands, like I don't know what it was, like a print shop or something, but it had a big long leather band that was being driven by a bunch of pulleys, but it was exposed. And he was rubbing his jungle region on this band, and what happened was the wheel caught the skin of his scrotum and went like that and flew his right testicle right out the window.
Oh, jeez.
He was so embarrassed that he took a stapler and stapled the skin shut and then just finished his shift in abject pain. Showed up in the emergency room 3 or 4 days later with a big giant abscess in his scrotum, and he eventually went on to die. So if something like that happens to you, if your testicle goes flying out the window, it's fine to just say, hey, I was just standing there and it happened. But go get help. Don't be embarrassed so that you put your life in danger. If you got a cucumber stuffed up your ass, light bulb in your vagina, any of those things, go to the emergency room. Just tell them you sat on it or you don't know what the hell happened, but get it taken care of because you can't take care of it yourself at that point. If you've lost anyone that's ever put a suppository up their ass. Have you ever, when you start pushing it up and then all of a sudden it goes bloop and it's gone. It's gone.
Vanishes,
That's the same thing that happens when you take a cucumber and try to shove it up your ass. You'll get up so far, and if you go a little bit too far, the muscle of that sphincter of the anus will grab it, and it'll go right up, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you can't shit it back out. You have to go get it taken care of.
Allegedly, right?
Now, what we recommend is
personal
don't.
experience.
I think you read about this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I've seen these things. I mean, I saw a guy
like
once
he knows
with
a little too much about this.
I saw an X-ray of a guy with 12 Barbie heads up his ass. Yeah, 12 Barbie heads. Now, what kind of pathology caused that to happen?
Jeez,
right?
Louise.
So, what we recommend is don't let these things happen. Vegetables are not made for shoving up your ass. Vegetables are made for eating, and they're in a nice salad. But they do make things at, Intimate Treasures or Romantic Escapades or whatever, store you have near you, Adam and Eve, that if you're interested in ass play, that are safe to use for that. So
For the most part.
For the most part. That's right. Use everything with care with a consenting partner, and you'll
Unless DMP Carissa snaps it in half, then you're in trouble.
Good Lord. I do kind of want to hear that story now.
Maybe after show. That's.
Hey, Carissa, you got any other ones for us?
The average man has 5 erections a day, which can last from a few seconds to a few hours.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's probably right. Are we including nocturnal?
Nope.
Oh, that's just regular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's just during the day.
Well, I remember those days. Scott, what do you think of that one? Does that sound about right to you? You're still young.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I've just
never even think about it.
Yeah, I've just excised that from my
Yeah, I don't think about this anymore. I'm too old. Too damn old.
Never too old.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got? Didn't you? Did you have another one?
In regards to orgasm.
Okay, let's hear that one.
The average male orgasm lasts 6 seconds.
6 what?
Seconds. 6 seconds in comparison to the female that has an average of 23 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, all of that for 6 seconds. Yeah, I will attest that I exceed that by quite a bit, but it does seem like a lot of work just for an average of 6 seconds. I mean, the being nice, the asking questions and attentive listening and all that.
Acting like you're concerned.
Bullshit.
Acting. There's the key word.
Acting like you care whether they have an orgasm.
We all know the truth here.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that was delightful. I think you did a wonderful job. Thank you for.
Thank you. Yes,
yeah,
Chris, you did great.
You're going to get you one of those. Scott, did you have anything from the fluid family?
No fluid. I think everybody was so intrigued with.
Well, I hope people like
Carissa's
that.
topics.
I enjoyed that. Hell,
there was a lot about. Certainly garnered a lot of interest.
Can you bring 99 fun facts about tits next time?
Sure.
Or vaginas.
Or vaginas.
Either way.
I mean,
Okay. Tits and vaginas. Then Scott will bring 99 things about shit and just take the whole room down.
There you go.
Stool talk with
Stool
Dr.
talk.
Scott.
That's right.
All right.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Dr. Scott can actually detect constipation by feeling your wrist, which is amazing.
That is true.
I've seen it.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
I can't do it here. This is like a party trick.
Yeah. Oh, she's holding out her. You have to.
The worst thing she has right now is insomnia.
Oh, okay.
And she's fatigued.
Wow. The fuck are you doing to me? No, I'm curious.
No, you are. Yeah. Liver blood's low.
See,
my what?
They feel different pulses than we do. It's bizarre.
Would you just say my liver?
Yeah. Blood is low. It's just part of your fatigue.
Isn't that something? I'm telling you.
You better sleep.
I do.
Yes, you do.
I didn't sleep any last night.
I can tell.
Yeah, it's like a magic trick.
It is kind of odd. I can tell prostate issues, pregnancies, you name it.
Well, and I have a weird sixth
That's very
sense.
interesting.
Well, she's not listening to me.
I'm
she's
listening to you.
Scott. She's
you could come
fascinated
over.
with you.
I am.
Yeah.
I find that very
It is
fascinating.
fascinating.
You could come over here and point exactly where my hip hurts.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a weird sixth sense about that, where if somebody tells me they're hurting, I can feel it kind of in my fingers, and I know exactly where to put my hands to elicit that pain. And that is, I think that's just knowing the anatomy and just doing it so much that it becomes part of your worldview. But that feeling the pulse shit that Scott
Yeah,
does.
what the fuck did you just? I don't understand.
He saw me one time, and I was seeing him for something else. And he felt my pulse. He said, "Oh, you're constipated." It's like, yes. I mean, I'm never constipated, but I am. And I hadn't told anybody. It's not like I run around saying, "Well, I can't move my bowels." And but he detected it immediately. It was crazy. So
he got some mad skills.
I think it's some
do.
sort of cold reading parlor trick. Oh, I'm detecting the letter J. Does the letter J mean anything?
Okay, but you didn't know I didn't sleep unless I just look like shit.
No, but you
So-
don't look like shit. That's the thing.
I put
No, you don't.
caffeinated eye cream on, so it makes my eyes
No,
look
you
away.
can tell. No, you can. Those are very specific things you can tell with pulse if you know what you're reading.
No, it's wild.
How do you?
You put them all together.
Yeah.
It's just practice. I've only been doing it 25 years.
Yeah. I'm very impressed.
I've only been alive 25 years.
Hmm.
I'm just fucking kidding.
We know.
Oh, thanks.
Idiot.
Oh, shit.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
All right. Well, thank you, DNP Carissa. You were delightful. Thanks for being here in the studio today, Dr. Scott. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. As always. And thanks to everyone who's made the show happen over the years. Listen to our SiriusXM show on the Faction Talk channel. SiriusXM channel 103, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, on demand, and other times at Jim McClure's pleasure. Well, I forgot to talk about my pneumonia. You know, all that coughing and hacking I've been doing? Turns out I had fucking pneumonia. And I had to drive to Tampa while Tacie and Beck flew down because I was coughing so bad. And they put me on antibiotics the day I left. And then, by the time I was down there a few days, got better, and I've been better ever
It
since.
looked like you had pneumonia.
I know. Well,
you didn't even act like
they
you had
repeated
it.
my CT scan, and that part of my lung that's dead is still dead. And then I had ground glass opacities on the right side, which also could be cancer. So I got to repeat it in 3 months and make sure it's gone. So F me. If it is, and then my bucket list kicks in. I've got a damn bucket list, y'all, and this show's gonna change a little bit if your old pal Dr. Steve's got to go through that, because I got some shit to say. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules, podcasts, and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps. Quit smoking, get off your asses, get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine.